In the previous video, we explored the global AI economy, the hundreds of billions of dollars flowing into the sector, the companies racing to build the next generation of intelligent systems, the second-order effects reshaping energy grids and labor markets worldwide. You might be wondering, where does Kazakhstan fit into all of this? The honest answer is that 5 years ago, Kazakhstan barely registered on the global AI map. The country was known for oil, uranium, and wheat, not for software, not for startups, not for artificial intelligence. When foreign investors thought about Central Asia, they thought about pipelines and mining concessions, not about venture capital and tech accelerators. But something has changed. Something is changing right now as you watch this video. And the speed of that change is why this program exists. In 2025 alone, Kazakhstan rose from 76th to 60th place in the Government AI Readiness Index. IT service exports grew by more than 30%, reaching $1 billion. The country launched Central Asia's first supercomputer. The first technology unicorn emerged from the Kazakh startup ecosystem. And the government created an entirely new ministry at the deputy prime minister level dedicated to artificial intelligence and digital development. These are not incremental improvements. They represent a fundamental shift in how the country sees its economic future. Kazakhstan is not trying to become the next Silicon Valley. That would be neither realistic nor desirable. Instead, Kazakhstan is positioning itself as something potentially more valuable, a bridge between worlds, a testing ground for solutions that can scale across emerging markets, and a talent source for industries that desperately need people who understand both the technology and the context in which it will be deployed. This video will explain why this moment matters for Kazakhstan specifically, and why it matters for you as a student in this program. We will examine the government's vision and the infrastructure being built to support it. We will look at the unique advantages Central Asia offers in the global AI landscape. And we will walk through the 8 industries and 4 cross-industry domains that form the core of the AI Sana curriculum, not as abstract categories, but as concrete opportunities where your skills will be applied. In September 2025, President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev delivered a State of the Nation address titled Kazakhstan in the Era of Artificial Intelligence. The speech did not merely mention AI as one priority among many. It placed AI at the center of the country's economic future. The most visible outcome was the creation of a new Ministry of Artificial Intelligence and Digital Development, elevated to be led by a deputy prime minister. This is not a small bureaucratic reorganization. It signals that AI is now considered as important to Kazakhstan's future as energy, finance, or foreign affairs. The ministry's mandate is comprehensive. Modernize the economy through AI, big data, and platform technologies, all guided by a national strategy called Digital Kazakhstan. Tokayev set an ambitious timeline. Kazakhstan should become a fully digital nation within 3 years. Whether that specific target is achieved matters less than the commitment it represents. Governments that set public deadlines for digital transformation tend to allocate resources accordingly, and resources are flowing. A national AI strategy means nothing without infrastructure to support it. Kazakhstan has recognized this and moved quickly. In July 2025, the country launched Central Asia's first and most powerful supercomputer cluster, alem.cloud. Housed in a Tier 3 certified data center, the supercomputer features 512 NVIDIA H200 GPUs and delivers 2 exaflops of computing capacity. By late 2025, it ranked 86th in the top 500 list of the world's most powerful supercomputers. a significant achievement for a country that had no presence on this list a few years earlier. This is not a vanity project. The supercomputer powers practical applications, Kaz-LLM and Alam-LLM, sovereign large language models that operate in Kazakh and Russian. It provides computing resources for universities, startups, and research institutions. The Alem.ai International Center for Artificial Intelligence, which opened in October 2025, serves as the hub connecting this infrastructure to the people who will use it. The supporting ecosystem continues to expand. More than 10 AI agents have been piloted in government operations, including eGov.ai for citizen services, Tax Helper for fiscal queries, and even an AI therapist for mental health support. These are not experimental toys. They are working systems processing real requests from real citizens. Infrastructure without governance leads to chaos. Kazakhstan has been unusually proactive in creating legal frameworks for AI. The National AI Development Concept, approved in 2024, runs through 2029 and establishes ethical guidelines, national standards, and regulatory mechanisms. In December 2025, Parliament adopted the Digital Code, a comprehensive legal framework for data governance, digital platforms, smart contracts, and cybersecurity. This is the kind of foundational legislation that many developed countries are still debating. Kazakhstan has already passed it. The State Digital Asset Fund, based on the National Bank's Investment Corporation, represents another forward-looking initiative. It will accumulate a strategic reserve of digital assets, positioning Kazakhstan to participate in whatever financial infrastructure emerges from the current period of monetary experimentation. The results are visible in government service delivery. Today, 92% of government services are available online. The eGov.kz portal and eGov mobile app serve more than 14.7 million registered users in a country of 20 million people. More than 23 million digital services were delivered in the first half of 2025 alone, with nearly 45% accessed via smartphones. Citizens can register businesses, access healthcare records, renew documents, or file legal petitions without visiting a physical office. The transformation goes deeper than convenience. Electronic medical certificates and sick leave have eliminated paper flows and reduced shadow transactions by an estimated 7.5 billion tenge. Enrollment in kindergartens and schools is now fully digital, improving efficiency by 46%. Transfers between schools take 1 day instead of 5. Kazakhstan now ranks 24th globally in the UN's e-Government Development Index and among the top 10 countries in the Online Services Index, alongside South Korea, Estonia, and Denmark. For a country that was barely on the digital governance map a decade ago, this represents a remarkable trajectory. Critics might argue that laws on paper do not guarantee implementation. This is true, but having the legal frameworks in place removes a significant barrier that has slowed AI adoption in other countries. Companies and developers know the rules, they can build accordingly. Look at a map. Kazakhstan sits at the crossroads of Europe, Russia, China, and the rest of Asia. It shares borders with 5 countries and sits along the historic Silk Road routes that connected civilizations for millennia. In the age of AI, this geography matters in unexpected ways. The Trans-Caspian fiber optic cable, currently under construction, will create stable digital connections with international hubs. The Belt and Road Initiative has brought Chinese investment in infrastructure. The Eurasian Economic Union provides access to Russian markets, and the country's growing relationships with the EU, the United States, and Middle Eastern nations create multiple pathways for technology transfer and market access. Consider the data flows. information traveling between Europe and Asia increasingly passes through Central Asian infrastructure. Kazakhstan is building data centers not just to serve local needs, but to capture a share of this transcontinental traffic. Being on the route matters. Kazakhstan's population of roughly 20 million people operates fluently in multiple languages. Kazakh and Russian are spoken throughout the country. English is increasingly common among younger professionals, and the cultural familiarity with both Russian-speaking and Turkic-speaking regions creates natural connections to markets totaling hundreds of millions of people. For AI applications, this multilingual capacity is valuable. Models trained on Kazakh and Russian data can be adapted for neighboring countries. Solutions developed for the Central Asian context often transfer more easily to other emerging markets than solutions designed in Silicon Valley or Shenzhen. The cultural positioning also matters. Kazakhstan is a predominantly Muslim country with a secular government, a combination that allows it to engage with Middle Eastern partners while maintaining relationships with Western institutions. This is not a common profile in the tech world. Kazakhstan faces a challenge that is also an opportunity. The country has a young population, median age around 30, and a higher education system producing thousands of STEM graduates annually. But until recently, many of the most talented graduates left for opportunities in Russia, Europe, or North America. The brain drain was real. It was also reversible. The conditions that drove talent away, limited opportunities, lower salaries, disconnection from global tech ecosystems, are exactly what the current digital transformation is designed to address. The AI SANA program, developed with experts from Stanford, Imperial College, King's College, and the Royal Academy of Engineering, aims to train 100,000 students in AI. This is not a casual target. It represents a deliberate effort to build the human capital that makes everything else possible. By 2029, the Alemd AI initiative targets $5 billion in AI exports, 10,000 new AI talents attracted to the country, 100 startup launches, and 10 world-class research projects. You are part of this equation. The skills you develop in this program are not academic exercises. They are investments in your own future and in the country's transformation. The government itself recognizes how serious the talent shortage is. Since early 2025, more than 20,500 civil servants have completed training in AI, and 6 government agencies have created their own AI bots. The Quizmet AI program has trained 50,000 civil servants in AI fundamentals. And here is a striking policy signal. The government has announced that AI proficiency will soon become a prerequisite for employment in the public sector. As Deputy Prime Minister Madiev stated, in the future, a lack of AI competencies will be a barrier to entering government service. When a government makes AI literacy mandatory for its own employees, it is sending a clear message about the direction of the economy. 7 years ago, Astana Hub did not exist. Today, it is the largest tech park in Central Asia, housing nearly 2,000 IT companies, including over 470 with foreign participation. The numbers from 2025 tell the story. Startups in the ecosystem generated $1.5 billion in combined revenue, with IT service exports reaching $1 billion, a 30% increase from the previous year. The first technology unicorn from the region, Higgsfield AI, emerged from this ecosystem in September 2025. Founded by Alex Mashrabov, former head of generative AI at Snap Inc., and AI researcher Erzat Dulat, the company develops text-to-video AI tools that have attracted over 11 million users, including celebrities like Madonna and Will Smith. With $50 million in Series A funding led by GFT Ventures and Menlo Ventures and a run rate revenue exceeding $50 million, Higgsfield achieved a billion-dollar valuation, making it Kazakhstan's first unicorn in 15 years. The team of about 70 people maintains its main engineering office in Kazakhstan while headquartered in San Francisco. This matters not because unicorns are the only measure of success, but because they prove what is possible. If one Kazakh startup can reach a billion-dollar valuation, others can follow. The hub offers practical benefits: 0% corporate income tax for participants, co-working spaces, acceleration programs, visa assistance for foreign entrepreneurs, and access to the Kazakhstan Venture Group, which has a $1 billion fundraising target and has already secured $115 million. International programs have expanded reach. Through the Silkway Accelerator, a partnership with Google for startups, 73 startups have launched with a combined valuation of $575 million. The Hero Training Program, run in Silicon Valley with Draper University, has helped 37 startups gain international expertise. More than 100 Kazakh startups have entered foreign markets through international hub partnerships. The startups emerging from Kazakhstan are not copycats of Western models. They solve problems specific to the region while building solutions that can scale globally. Consider Cerebra AI, founded by Dojan Jusupov, which uses generative AI to detect acute ischemic strokes from non-contrast CT scans, reducing diagnosis time from hours to minutes. The technology has analyzed over 130,000 patients in 47 hospitals across Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. Cerebra AI won Best for Tech Startup at the Global Startup Awards 2023, joined Stanford's StartX Accelerator, won the LEAP 2024 Artificial Intelligence Award in Saudi Arabia, and has now relocated its headquarters to Silicon Valley to pursue FDA approval and US market entry. Or consider Arlan Biotech, founded by Nazarbayev University alumni Bolat Sultankulov and Dauken Saitkali. Their generative AI platform creates precise nanobody sequences for protein targets within minutes, a process that traditionally takes 6 months of laboratory work. The startup won second place at the Supernova Challenge at GITEX Europe 2025 and has outperformed Google DeepMind's Alpha Proteo in preliminary validation tests. Like Cerebra AI, they joined Stanford's StartX program and are now based in Palo Alto while maintaining their Kazakhstan engineering team. Chrome AI, an industrial tech startup, uses machine vision and predictive analytics to improve safety, reduce downtime, and optimize production in mining and manufacturing. OncoZero AI is developing neural networks for enhanced cancer diagnosis. These companies share a pattern. They address real problems in industries where Kazakhstan has domain expertise: healthcare delivery in resource-constrained environments, mining operations that account for a significant portion of the economy, agricultural challenges in a country with 220 million hectares of farmland. The lesson for students is straightforward. You do not need to invent the next social network or the next search engine. You need to apply AI to problems you understand deeply in contexts you can access, for customers you can reach. The AI Sana curriculum focuses on 8 primary industries and 4 cross-industry domains. These were not chosen arbitrarily. They represent the sectors where Kazakhstan has existing economic activity, where AI applications are mature enough to deploy, and where trained professionals are in short supply. Kazakhstan is one of the world's largest producers of uranium, chromium, and numerous other minerals. Mining operations generate enormous amounts of data, from geological surveys to equipment sensors to logistics tracking, but much of this data remains unanalyzed. AI applications in mining include predictive maintenance for heavy equipment, reducing downtime and extending asset life, autonomous haulage systems already deployed in some Australian and Canadian mines, ore grade prediction, optimizing where and how to dig, and safety monitoring, detecting hazardous conditions before accidents occur. The Horus Mine startup mentioned earlier represents the kind of solution emerging from the local ecosystem, but the industry needs hundreds of similar applications. A student who understands both machine learning and mining operations will find no shortage of problems to solve. With 220 million hectares of agricultural land, Kazakhstan is the sixth largest agricultural nation by area. The country is a major grain exporter and aims to double agricultural exports while increasing the share of processed products. AI is already being deployed, intelligent soil analysis systems, AI-powered drones for pest control, geoanalytics for crop optimization, autonomous robots for harvesting and monitoring. The government has instructed agencies to use AI for climate risk forecasting, yield prediction, and market price analysis. The challenges are practical. How do you irrigate efficiently when water is scarce? How do you predict wheat yields when weather patterns are changing? How do you connect smallholder farmers to markets using mobile platforms? These are not theoretical questions. They are operational problems that AI can help solve. Kazakhstan's education system is undergoing its own transformation. Enrollment in kindergartens and schools is now fully digital. College and university applications have been streamlined. Teacher qualification upgrades that once took months now take weeks. The AI Sana program itself is an example, a collaboration between Kazakh institutions and international partners, delivered through digital platforms designed to train the next generation of AI practitioners. The model can be replicated for other subjects and other age groups. Kazakhstan has emerged as a regional fintech leader. Kaspi.kz, often described as a super app, has integrated banking, payments, marketplace, and government services into a single platform used by millions. The country's Astana International Financial Center offers tax exemptions and regulatory sandboxes for financial innovation. AI applications in fintech include fraud detection, credit scoring for underbanked populations, algorithmic trading, customer service automation, and regulatory compliance. The digital codes provisions for smart contracts and digital assets create additional opportunities. The Solana Economic Zone Kazakhstan, launched in 2025 as the first blockchain hub in Central Asia, signals interest in cryptocurrency and decentralized finance. Whether these technologies fulfill their promise or not, the intersection of AI and blockchain will require professionals who understand both. Kazakhstan's construction sector is experiencing significant activity, from the Almatau City Smart City project to infrastructure investments across the country. AI applications range from the mundane, project scheduling and resource optimization, to the advanced generative design, digital twins, predictive safety systems. The Almatau City project, granted special status by presidential decree in September 2025, is explicitly designed to incorporate digital technologies and green standards. It will serve as a testing ground for smart city applications, energy management, traffic optimization, public safety monitoring that can be deployed elsewhere. Kazakhstan's telecommunications infrastructure has advanced significantly. Internet access now covers 93% of the population, with 98% mobile coverage. The country ranks 41st globally in the Telecommunications Infrastructure Index. Fiber optic lines have expanded 12-fold in a decade, reaching 71% of settlements. The 5G rollout is underway in major cities. Satellite partnerships with Amazon Kuiper, Shanghai Spacecom, Eutelsat OneWeb, and SpaceX Starlink are extending connectivity to remote areas. The Accessible Internet Project aims to bring 4G nationwide. For AI professionals, this infrastructure creates the foundation for edge computing, IoT deployments, and real-time applications that require low latency. It also creates demand for network optimization, cybersecurity, and systems management, all areas where AI plays an increasing role. Kazakhstan's healthcare system is integrating digital technologies at multiple levels. Telemedicine has provided 1.5 million services, saving citizens an estimated 13 billion tenge. Electronic medical certificates and sick leave have eliminated paper flows and reduced shadow transactions. AI applications in healthcare include diagnostic support. The OncoZero AI startup uses neural networks for cancer diagnosis, patient flow optimization, drug interaction checking, and population health management. The AI therapist pilot mentioned earlier represents an attempt to address mental health support at scale. The $500 million medical university and hospital project announced in 2025, a partnership between Indian and Kazakh corporations, suggests international confidence in Kazakhstan's healthcare development trajectory. Kazakhstan's energy sector is in transition. The country remains a major oil and gas producer, but renewable energy resources, wind, solar, hydroelectric, and geothermal, are increasingly significant. The goal is to balance economic extraction of traditional resources with investment in sustainable alternatives. AI applications span the energy value chain: reservoir optimization for oil and gas, predictive maintenance for pipelines and refineries, grid management for renewable integration, demand forecasting, and energy efficiency in buildings and industrial processes. The 70/30 program for energy modernization, which includes partnerships with cryptocurrency mining investors, represents an unusual approach to funding infrastructure upgrades. 4 domains cut across all 8 industries, applicable wherever the specific sector challenges arise. Robotics and operational automation, from autonomous mining trucks to warehouse robots to agricultural drones, physical automation is accelerating. Kazakhstan's industrial base creates demand for automation solutions, while the country's engineering education provides a foundation for developing them. Every organization in every industry faces challenges in recruiting, developing, and retaining skilled workers. AI applications in HR include candidate screening, skills assessment, performance prediction, and workforce planning. As Kazakhstan's economy transforms, matching people to opportunities becomes increasingly important. Digital marketing, content generation, customer analytics, and sales optimization are relevant whether you are selling agricultural equipment or financial services. The media landscape in Kazakhstan, multiple languages, multiple platforms, rapid shifts in consumption patterns, creates particular challenges and opportunities. Cybersecurity threats, physical security monitoring, fraud detection, and regulatory compliance cut across all sectors. Kazakhstan's Government AI Readiness Index score includes a strong public sector adoption rating, reflecting the integration of AI into security-relevant government functions. There is a phrase that appears repeatedly in discussions of Kazakhstan's tech ambitions: local problems, global solutions. The idea is simple but powerful. When you solve a problem in Kazakhstan, whether it is optimizing wheat yields on the steppe, providing telemedicine to remote villages, or managing a multilingual customer service operation, you're often solving a problem that exists in dozens of other countries. The solution you develop can be exported. Consider the math. Kazakhstan's population is about 20 million. Central Asia's population is about 75 million. The population of countries with similar development profiles, middle income, resource-rich, multilingual, underserved by Western tech companies, numbers in the billions. A startup that proves its model in Kazakhstan can expand to Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan, Mongolia, and beyond. From there, the path leads to larger markets: Turkey, the Middle East, South Asia, Africa, Latin America. These are the markets where growth is fastest and where Western solutions often fail to fit local contexts. This is the export strategy embedded in Kazakhstan's digital vision. By 2026, the target is $1 billion in IT service exports. By 2029, under the Alam.ai initiative, the target is $5 billion in AI exports specifically. These are ambitious numbers, but they reflect a genuine path. Build solutions locally, prove them at scale, then take them global. We have covered a lot of ground in this video: government strategy, infrastructure investment, startup ecosystems, industry applications. But all of it comes down to people, specifically to people like you who develop the skills to build AI systems and deploy them in real-world contexts. The AI Sana program exists because Kazakhstan's transformation cannot happen without trained professionals. The infrastructure can be built, the regulations can be passed, the investment can flow, but none of it matters without people who understand how to make AI work. You are entering a field where demand for talent far exceeds supply. The government has made AI training mandatory for civil servants. The private sector is competing for every qualified professional. The startups need founders, engineers, product managers, and domain experts who can translate between business problems and technical solutions. The opportunity is real. The question is what you will do with it. In the coming modules, you will learn the technical foundations: machine learning algorithms, neural network architectures, data processing pipelines. You will also learn the practical skills: how to scope a project, how to work with stakeholders, how to deploy and maintain systems in production. But the most important thing you will learn cannot be reduced to curriculum. It is the mindset of someone who sees problems as opportunities, who connects technical capabilities to business needs, who builds things that work in the real world rather than just in academic papers. Kazakhstan's moment is now. Your moment is now. Let's get to work. Kazakhstan has committed to becoming a fully digital nation within 3 years, backed by a new Ministry of Artificial Intelligence and Digital Development at the cabinet level. The infrastructure is being built. Central Asia's most powerful supercomputer, sovereign language models, national AI platforms, and comprehensive legal frameworks, including the digital code. The country's unique position, geographic bridge between continents, multilingual population, young workforce, growing startup ecosystem, creates opportunities that do not exist elsewhere. Astana Hub hosts nearly 2,000 IT companies generating $1.5 billion in annual revenue. The first regional technology unicorn has emerged. International accelerators and venture funds are active. 8 industries form the core of AI Sana's applied focus: minerals and mining, food and agriculture, education, fintech, construction, telecom and data centers, healthcare, and energy. 4 cross-industry domains: robotics and automation, talent management, media and marketing, safety and security, cut across all sectors. The model is local problems with global solutions. Prove what works in Kazakhstan, then export to similar markets worldwide. The target is $5 billion in AI exports by 2029. You are not a passive observer of this transformation. You are a participant. The skills you develop in this program will determine what role you play and what role Kazakhstan plays in the global AI economy